Chris, just sum that one up.
Yeah, I thought we were best. I thought we were the best side. It showed some real toughness, some real resilience, and some real fight. I thought tonight, which is probably what we've been lacking the last few weeks. Pleased for the boys after a real tough week, and just really proud of them because it's a hard place to come, and but I think the pressure we're off coming away from home. Could play without any fear, and really proud of them. Really proud of them. It's been challenging. I thought Louis Senior were great for us tonight. He's really stood up. I thought George Lawler were really good. I thought Stimo through the middle were really good. And for probably the first 40 minutes, we stuck to a game plan. Made plenty of yards down short sides, and we just wanted to be a little bit more direct with them. And I thought the halves controlled the game. So yeah, they were always going to come back at us. I just liked the response when they scored that try to go in front, and the response that we got from the players. And Huddy came up with a big play there to get us over the line. So really pleased.
How tense was it to watch late on?
Yeah, I don't miss it, man. I don't miss being upstairs. I was pretty calm actually tonight. I was pretty calm. I got Bruffy at the side of me. He's tipping me up on things, and Rob Nicolai. I think those guys have been a real help. But yeah, I just think it was. That's what Castleford Tigers is all about. That grit, and they did the badge proud tonight.
As good a win as it was, is it more impressive because of what the last fortnight has looked like off the pitch?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it had been very easy of me to, sit people down for this week after what had gone on last week. But I think there are a few guys out there that obviously had a point to prove, and I just spoke to Louis during the week, and he was desperate to play, and I thought he played really well, showed some real character, and came up with a big play at the end there. So yeah, it has been a tough week, and it is a special win, but it's only 2 points, and if we want to finish 8th, then we need 3 more of those wins.
How tough was it without a clock, without a big screen? Does that make any difference tonight?
Yeah, massive difference. I couldn't. Yeah, constantly asking the people down on the sideline how long's left, and the captain's challenge decisions. Nobody knows what's going on. There was some weird things happening tonight on the on the field, and but we got a couple of good calls. They got a couple of good calls, so it kind of evens itself out. But yeah, I thought we were really good value tonight. Good value.
It's shown you that togetherness and that connectivity is there, isn't it, Cass?
Yeah, they are. They are well connected. We spoke about just all heading down to the reserves game tomorrow and show some support there for the reserves. We'll have a beer together tomorrow, and but yeah, there were 17 guys out there that wanted to give a performance that everybody can be proud of and play for the badge, and they did it with a lot of energy tonight.
Right from the off, the Cass fans that came tonight, and there were a good number, it was an awful journey over. Yeah. We're fully behind that team tonight.
Yeah, there were, and that's what we want. That's what we need. I understand the frustrations among the fan group, and we probably haven't handled the situation as well as we probably could have done, but take nothing away from the boys tonight. They were great and showed some real character.
Just lastly from me, is there any further clarity on Ryan's situation?
No, I've not had any discussions with anybody at the club. My job this week has just been to prepare the players, and probably taking an eye off the other job that's probably even more important. But we're going to get some good people in next week, in Luke Robbo to assist the coaching staff, because at the minute, like I said last week, I think we've got Scott Morrell at the minute at the helm. We've got Rob Nicolai is actually the general manager of the club that's had to get his boots back on. We're missing a CEO in Danny Wilson. Everybody's kind of picking up little bits, with Danny. And I just said there that on Sky that were a win for Danny, because I know he's doing it tough at the minute in hospital. I went to see him before the game, and he seemed in good spirits, and hopefully we can see him back at the club sometime soon. But I think it's probably going to be a few months before that happens.
Chris, you mentioned over the last few weeks that your side have been guilty of sort of lacking resilience and falling away in the second half, having been promising in the opening 40. How pleasing was it to see those energy levels and the determination there for pretty much a full 80 tonight? Yeah,
we knew, we spoke about half time that Hull were going to come out. I question sometimes whether I'm always questioning things and whether we fit enough, and that's not a dig at anybody. But we just seem to lack a real intensity after half time. But that actually came off the back of some real silly errors as well. So we need to be better. There's certain things that we can control there, and I think after 15 minutes, I think we're around about 66%, which that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I thought we were outstanding that first 40 minutes and dictated the game and controlled the game, put them in corners where we made them say, right, you get downfield. We took the short sides, we stuck to a plan. I don't think we did for that first 15-20 minutes of that second half.
You got any injury concerns? So he played on, but Tyler Dupree had his knee really heavily strapped. Is there an issue there?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I hope not. George Hurst hurt his ankle and he's pretty beaten up. Laney's pretty beaten up. But yeah, we got through that first half. We were only using 2 interchanges, and I thought there was some guys out there that played some real big minutes. Stimo and Huddy. That's probably the longest Huddy's played in a long time. He's had 12-14 weeks out with that neck injury that he had. And I said earlier, George Law, I thought were excellent. He played the first 4. I think he played the first 65 minutes. We brought him off and then put him on for the last 10. Especially in this heat. I'm sweating just sat here talking to you guys, so I don't know how them guys did it out there.
How important is it, with everything that's been going on, how important is it to just be able to focus on that 80 minutes at the end of each week at the moment? It's important. It's important. Like I said, I think it's been a challenging week for everybody, for the board, all the fans, all the way down to the players. We had a real positive meeting on Monday, and you could see out there that this is a group that's connected. They care about each other. They care for the badge. I think for us we've got to back it up next week. We've got to back it up the week after. We go to St Helens next week. That it's kind of a little bit of a similar situation to what's happening here at the minute. In terms of form and but again, I think the best thing for us this week is that we were kind of away from home and there were no pressure on us, and we can enjoy it, and we could play free, and I thought we did that.